Welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. Welcome back to another Fancam. West Ham United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 1K as soon as possible, people. And at GVR Mikes on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if you want to follow me on all platforms on social media as well. And that was a game I expected that we would win because what do West Ham do when the manager's about to get sacked, people? They win games. They win games. Maybe we need to say that this manager's one game away from getting sacked every game. Maybe we can win the league by doing that. Obviously, that is satire and that is sarcasm, but that is how we play. We play like our life depends on it when our life actually genuinely depends on it. And that is when, what's it called? We win games. We did it against Newcastle. We win once every 4 or 5 games, roughly. I'm just guessing in my head. I'm going from Palace to Ipswich to Man United to Newcastle to this game. 3 or 4 games. 3 or 4 games, maybe. This is kind of the loop that we're going to go on, and we're going to be like this all season, and that's why this manager's going to stay. We nearly got our euphoria. We nearly got our Kendrick Lamar moment. But every time this happens, the manager stays and we win the game. Don't get me wrong. I think for the greater good, we needed to lose today. I've said that before, and for a short-term pain for long-term gain. Hypothetically, if we was to actually get a manager in that was decent, and then we could go on a run, sort of thing. As much as I don't wish for this team to lose or anything, I'm just saying that for the sake of it. But Gary O'Neill will go now. Gary O'Neill will leave, even though their ownership is just a ship. He will leave at least. He needs to leave because watching it from an outsider's perspective, I don't know if Wolves fans are watching this, but they didn't look good today. They were terrible. But their squad isn't great, but from midfield and attacking wise, a lot more can be got out of them. They need to create more deadly chances. It's like the players didn't actually want to create for them today. The players didn't actually want to put the chances away. Cunha was the only one trying to create something. Doherty with a couple decent crosses. But that was it. Their goal they took well, but they didn't do enough of that. They didn't do enough of that in general. I didn't think they were going to win today. They haven't won at the London Stadium for time. I want to say since the 1920 season. I'm going to assume because we beat them 4-0, and yeah, I think we've continued to beat them since the 1920 season. I could be wrong. I don't remember the 21-22 season. I don't remember what the result was in that game. No, we won 1-0. Yeah, they haven't. They don't really even score at London Stadium that much. In fact, we was pretty much. I was not concerned about them equalizing, but they did, and then they were good for 5 minutes. But as soon as they scored, we scored. It's because we have quality. We have players that can perform as well as individuals. Like that's why we won't get relegated. That's why I'm not worried about a relegation battle. Even though we're in a relegation battle right now, I'm not worried about getting relegated because of the individual players that will bail this manager out continuously. Because we come up against teams that are way worse than us. Yes, there are teams in the league that are worse than us, believe it or not. Southampton will probably beat them. We'll probably beat them teams. I expected to draw against Leicester. We lost to them, so that was the only one that really surprised me. Where we lost to average team, but then again they've got Ruud van Nistelrooy, not Steve Cooper. If they had Steve Cooper, we probably would have got him sacked if he didn't already get sacked after Chelsea. But even despite the fact that Leicester's ownership hasn't been great over the past few years, they came up against Chelsea at home and lost, and they sacked their manager, which is something we should have done when we came up against Chelsea ourselves. We came up against Chelsea at home, we lost at home. We should have sacked him after game week 5, and people are going to be like, "What the fuck?" But I saw it from game week 5. That's why I said the manager should go after game week 5 because we played, and for context, we played well against Man City, created chances, and that's how we should set out against teams in general. Played good possession-based football, but attacking football that was not just good on the eye for the sake of it. But despite the individual errors, I blame the players for not winning that game because we didn't finish our chances. We set up in the right way. But guess what? After the international break, this guy goes back to long ball football against Fulham. And that's why I was like, what the fuck is this guy smoking? So when he came up against Chelsea and they set up the way he did, I'm like, this manager's not right in the head. We got convincingly battered. When do we get convincingly battered by Chelsea at home? We don't. There's worse West Ham teams that are being better Chelsea teams. That's why I've been complaining about this manager. We performed poor against Fulham and Brentford and somehow scraped a draw. So there's a reason why games like Forest and Tottenham away were always going to come because that was always coming. That was always coming. Those hidings were coming in. And yes, I'm still angry. I'm still angry about this club. I'm not ranting, but I'm kind of just exhausted because despite the fact that we won today, we're going in a cycle. People are gonna call me like fucking negative and what the fuck are you complaining about? You won. Yeah, what does this say for our season? It doesn't say fuck all. Same as the Ipswich game, same as the Man United game. We've got better players than how we performed all season. We've got way better players than how we performed because we've got good individuals in that back four. Even Mavropanos played well today. Alvarez is genuinely pissing me off. The amount of times he lost the ball under no pressure, some under real big pressure where he's usually been better than, but he's not got a mobility to skirt away from it. And after his 2 red cards, I'm kind of done with the guy. I'm not saying that our options off the bench are better in terms of the pure number 6 position because Suchek and Paquetá are not number 6s. Saleh's not number 6, and none of them can fill in. Like Rodriguez, I feel like has been scapegoated at this club. I don't think he's the greatest player in the world. I just think he can be an okay squad player that can come in now and then and do a job. I don't think he should have been starting week in, week out. Like in the Tottenham game, there were articles made about Guido Rodriguez. He was the last person I was looking at for that game. Last person. I'm looking at the manager. And they didn't perform like they should have for Antonio today. Now, we weren't terrible at times. We were okay at times. Some of on Soler were really good. Kilman and Wan-Bissaka were good. But that's where it stops. Like, Kudus was good at times. Fabianski's kicking was poor again. Emerson was average today. I like Emerson. Mavropanos was good at times. But we don't look like a cohesive team. They didn't go out there and perform like Antonio had nearly just been fucking killed. I'm not looking past those celebrations to dedicate to Antonio. You didn't perform like Antonio was in like a bad condition and you wanted to show out for him today. You didn't perform like that. I don't care how much you hate the manager. You didn't perform like that. You didn't perform like you wanted to do something for Antonio. You did the celebrations like you did, but you didn't perform like that. Antonio deserves a better performance than that. But I'm not happy with this club. I never will be until we act serious. We've acted serious in terms of transfer windows, but when it comes to managers, we never back it up with the managers. There's never the managers at this club are never suited to the players that we have. Never. They're never suited to the players that we have. So until we get all of that under control, I will never be happy. I'm never going to be. That's why I complain every week. That's why I'm tired of complaining and repeating myself every week. Because that's not a performance that takes me into confidence to thinking that we can beat Bournemouth next week. Can we get a draw? We probably could get a draw. But I wouldn't be surprised if we lost at all. My only thing is that despite the fact that Bournemouth are a better team than us because of their coaching, we might nick something because we're West Ham. We nick things when we shouldn't. We might just get lucky. We have better individual players still than Bournemouth. We have a better overall squad than Bournemouth. But Bournemouth are way better coached. Way better coached. It's not even a conversation. Iraola's doing a great job. Yes, at times they could do better in certain games, but they're really good. We've got good defenders, though, individually. It's just the structure's poor. Wan-Bissaka's an amazing player. Wan-Bissaka is amazing. I love Wan-Bissaka. Prove me wrong, as I always say when I praise him. He proved me wrong. I didn't want him in the summer. But guess what? Every time he's performed, every time he's been on the pitch, apart from if I was to be nitpicky, I'd criticize him. But that's me being nitpicky. He's been amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost the next 2 games and we beat Southampton and his manager stays. The manager's still not going to get sacked. The manager's not getting sacked. And this club's a fucking disgrace for one of the worst managers the Premier League has ever seen still be manager of this club with this squad in charge. Staden gave him the transfers that he wanted and needed. He's not fucking backed it up. He's not. And the thing is, in Antonio's absence, the people up front are going to have to turn up. Now, I don't think Antonio was having a good season up until his accident, but it doesn't matter. You fill in for someone's absence, you got to perform. Big up to Mikel Antonio as well. Hope rehabilitation goes well. As people that are new to the channel, Mikel Antonio is my favourite West Ham player of all time. So that fucking hurt me when I saw that happening. But I'm good. But it's good to see that it's just a fracture rather than anything worse. But I guess we did it for Antonio today, but we could have performed better for Antonio. And unfortunately, his manager is staying. Make sure to like the video, people. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow with Alfie. Like the video, subscribe. GBL Mikes on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok if you want to follow me. And email for inquiries. Try to hit 1K as soon as possible, people. And I'll see you guys later.